Welcome back to the final part of this workshop series, where I've been sharing snippets from my last workshop, Unlock the Keys to a Better Marriage. Today, you're going to listen to a live coaching session from the workshop, where a very brave woman shares what she's been struggling with, and together we work through the places where she's been stuck, helping her step into a new way of seeing her life and her marriage. Afterward, I'll share some final thoughts to support you as you keep moving forward on your journey. Here's the heart of the work. Okay. So the resentment is that we can't talk about money without his panicking about what we lack. We work hard and he has a fear of never having enough. So in that situation, is that a story that keeps popping up over and over?
Yes.
Your marriage? Okay. And I'm assuming it gets more and more heightened every time.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you walk away from the conflict, does it seem like there's ever a resolution? No. Okay.
No.
So I want you to think about a circumstance that happened most recent.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the story that you're telling yourself based on what's happening with him? So if you think about the situation, there's an underlying story. You feel triggered. And where do you feel the trigger in your body?
Lately it's been in my stomach and sometimes chest, my heart races and I just feel sick
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. A sick feeling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when you think about the latest circumstance, like when you feel that sickness in your body, what is that circumstance meaning about you? What's the story of I am not what?
I'm not enough. I'm feeling like I'm not bringing in enough. I'm not doing enough to give relief to us as a family, where he's taking it on himself.
Yeah. So do you recall a story about money from your childhood?
From my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Lots of them.
Okay.
My my father was never good with money and filed bankruptcy like 3 times. And our house was in and out of the newspaper of getting potentially foreclosed on. And so I think it's definitely been a fear of mine.
Okay. All right. So does that story of what was happening in your childhood, what's the story from that particular time?
Um, that your family can break apart from money.
Okay. So do you have a fear that your family will break apart because of money?
Mhm.
Okay. What else? What else did that make you feel like that your family was in the newspaper?
I mean, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's kind of an ego thing, but um, does it make you feel very safe? Does it make you feel very secure when you have those types of things going on?
Okay.
Not really knowing what's next.
All right. So the embarrassment, can you tell me more about the embarrassment? What's the story under the embarrassment? Like I'm embarrassed because
Yeah. So my dad, I guess, in my opinion, kind of became like the laughing talk of the town.
Mhm.
It's a small town, so everybody knows everybody. And it's carried through in my adult life. We actually still live in this town. We didn't live here for a while and then we moved back. And so you still bump into all kinds of people my last name has changed and sometimes it's better, because I'm married, but then they figure it out.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then I feel that they associate me with him, which, I'm not like that. He, he had a business. He had wasn't a good businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He owed a lot of people money locally, and he has a good heart. He's just not good with money,
Right.
or that's the way I view it anyway.
Yeah. So what I heard you say is you feel like you have to hide from that past.
Yeah, in some ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that is a fear of what?
Um, I guess I don't even know. Um, I don't want to duplicate that in my own life with my own kids
Mm-hmm.
and my own family.
Yeah. What does that say about you? I have to hide from my past. So what does that mean about you?
That I'm insecure about my past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that goes back to the original story that you feel during the trigger.
Hmm.
So, and this is very normal, you guys. I just want thank you for doing this, Crystal.
Sure.
We're
Yeah.
not through. We're going to heal this story. Um, but this is something that is just with one resentment piece. There are actually 4 stories. And this
Hmm.
is a very common thing to happen. So with this one piece of resentment, um, she has this fear that her family is going to fall apart because of money. Is that what's what happened in her childhood? She has a fear that she's not safe. She has a fear that she's not secure. And um, she feels like she's not enough. She's constantly hiding from that past experience. Okay. So profound what can pop up just with one situation.
Hmm.
What do you think about, let's look at I am not safe. How does that one feel?
Say that one more time.
Let's look at I am not safe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. How does that one feel in your body?
Not good. I mean, definitely, I could I definitely feel more irritable, and it keeps building. So I just feel very jumpy and anxious around everybody, especially my kids and my dogs when they start barking, and like just my body, I just feel my whole body is just on edge.
Yeah. Yeah. Your nervous system, you're in fight or flight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at our belief systems, I like to describe it as, you guys, we're all on computers or on our iPhone, whatever that is. And we are born into this world hardwired. So think about that with your computer. You get your computer and it's already hardwired with different programs. And those programs that come hardwired onto our computer are mainly programs that are going to serve us. I serve us in a unique way. Okay. They're not going to harm us, is what I mean by that. So they're not programs that are going to, kill our computer, or programs that are going to cause us any harm. That's your hardwire. So we come into this world hardwired with beliefs of, I mean, God has made you limitless possibilities. You are given the power to have an amazing life with infinite possibilities. And Krista, when you were born into this world, if I were to open you up and find the made in USA tag on you, there's nowhere on that tag that said made in USA, Crystal, by the way, she's not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that comes into our computer system as the software.
Mm.
And our software, it's just like on our computer. Our software is something that there can be viruses in our software, and those viruses can be harmful. And your beliefs are basically a virus into your computer system. And a lot of times, what happens when we have our computers, and I'm very guilty of this, our computer will give us it'll start that pinwheeling on the computer, letting us know things are really slow right now. Sister, you got to do something here. Like you can't even work on your computer because it's so slow in that pinwheel. And then there's a little box that pops up that says it's time to upgrade. And we're busy, we're doing things. We don't want any lag time in our life whatsoever. I don't have time for that right now. I'm busy doing my work. So we hit the button that says remind me later. Remind me later. It's the same thing that happens with our triggers, our feelings in our body, those stories that we tell ourselves. I'm too busy to feel this right now. Click later. And later becomes almost a time bomb, like I said, because over time, when we're not actually experiencing those emotions, it goes into our body. And that's what causes the dis-ease in our body, changes in our physiology. And so, Crystal, just knowing that you're hardwired for limitless possibilities. You're hardwired. This is a software that's just a virus.
Yeah.
That's not your truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How does that feel to you? How does that feel?
Really good.
Yeah.
Makes you feel empowered again.
Yeah.
That you do have control over a lot of it.
So always remind yourself, go back to your hardwire always, okay, in those situations. That's going to be practice to be able to do that, is to step away from the circumstance when you're having the discussion and go, okay, I'm feeling that in my body right now. I recognize this. I am safe. I am safe. I'm not hardwired not to be safe. I am safe. But the truth is, there's some time probably in your childhood, where you were made to not feel safe being who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And when we are made not to feel safe with who we are, it could have been a kid in the playground that said, your tennis shoes are dirty, or your shorts are too big, or whatever it is. We make the decision that we're not safe being us. And so then we start to wear masks. We start to put on the mask of a chameleon so that we can receive love and acceptance in the world, because we're obviously not safe enough to experience it just on our own. So the different ways that we do that is we go into achievement mode, we go into seeking out, affirmation in the world, seeking out titles, seeking out money. So it all comes from the external world. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until we finally recognize this isn't working. Like none of this is filling that void. I still don't feel, probably don't say this in your mind, I still don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
But what we are all truly looking for is love and acceptance. And when we can learn to love and accept ourselves, we can actually learn to be safe in our bodies as well. So instead of the story, I am not safe, what would be a newer story? And sometimes we have to have a little bit of a bridge in between I'm not safe to I am safe. Maybe it's like I'm open to learning to feeling safe in my body.
I like what you said where, it's okay. I recognize that I don't feel, or I recognize this, but I'm choosing to taking the path of feeling safe again.
Yes. Good. And one of the ways that you can do that is when you start feeling that angst in your body, you can give yourself permission to say, you know what? This is, I love you. We're going to be fine, but I need to take just a step back for a moment and gather myself because this is not making my body feel well. And so learning to step away from the situation and take a couple of deep breaths, go out on the front porch, take a quick walk, just let your husband know we're okay. I just need to go step out, get some fresh air, process a few things, and I'll be back in 30 minutes or less, whatever that is. That is actually letting your body know that you're taking care of your body. And your priority is to make your body feel safe. And so you start to trust yourself. Do you feel like you can do that? Yeah.
Yep. It'll take a lot of effort, but yes.
Yeah. So what's the scariest part of that?
I don't think it's scary. It's more just getting myself to stop in that moment and walk away.
Yes.
The pattern I need to break because
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more the talker, I guess.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the
he would be.
pattern disruption. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the disruption that your body needs to know, okay, she's taking care of me. I can calm down my nervous system here.
Yeah.
She's taking care of me.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask you that question is sometimes when we decide to take a little break, and I know you very well, and I'm not saying this is what you're thinking, but I know your situation. Sometimes when we decide to take that break and say, we're fine, I just need to process some emotions. Let me step away. I need to take a breather and I'll be back in 30 minutes. Sometimes even that thought, 30 minutes, okay, what about the kids? I'm going to feel guilty taking 30 minutes away. Right?
Yeah.
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 But it's learning to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And that you are worth the break. Your body is worth that break for a few minutes so that you can come back thinking clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how your body feels now.
Much more calm.
Yeah.
I feel like I can breathe deep again. It's good.
Good. Okay. Yeah, it's a process. Safety is an issue for a lot of us, you guys. So Crystal, thank you, my love. That was so beautiful. That's a story I haven't heard from you. So that's why I wanted to work through that one. Anyone else relate to that story? Not feeling safe in your body? Yeah. For sure. So with doing this work, the next thing that I would do with Crystal is we would do some breath work, do some other modalities that I use to move that stuck energy out of her body. Okay, breath work is amazing for that. If you haven't done any breath work before, that is actually one of my favorites to do. You can really feel a massive release. Journaling is awesome too. There's some magic that happens when you journal 4 pages. And so really by the 4th page, the whole story dynamic starts to come out on that 4th page. So that releases some energy. Going for a walk releases energy. Any kind of movement will really do that. But I would be remiss to help someone with their mindset and not help them move the body and change the heart. So eventually we would work on the forgiveness piece as well. Okay, so I want to share with you guys our story. So a little bit deeper, so you kind of understand what we worked through. So what I shared with you tonight, with the breakthroughs, that's actually what I do with my clients. And we go ahead and we, go all the way through the process, and then we, move the emotion out of the body. So it's pretty transformational. And the more work that you do, Crystal we uncovered 4 stories, and the more work you do, the more stories you uncover. So it's pretty amazing to see what happens. But our story in our marriage, I shared with you that we're at a place that we have never been. Very happily married. Our marriage had been good for years, but it definitely wasn't awesome. But there was a time where we were actually 24 hours from filing a divorce. Yeah, 24 hours. And we, went from 24 hours from filing a divorce to really feeling very safe with each other. We communicate well. We enjoy each other's presence now. Minimal triggers. I'm not saying there aren't any. We're both constantly growing, but we do have minimal triggers. We definitely know how to work through those. And the intimacy is back. When we first married, my husband was a coach, and he was gone all the time. He was mentally gone when he was home, but he was physically gone when he was on the road, when he was coaching. We were both very emotionally immature. We did not know how to manage our emotions. We didn't know how to communicate our emotions. Very, very emotionally immature. And he actually had no emotion. He showed no emotion. And I am one that experiences it all. I am the emotion. I show my emotion. I played the role of the good wife, holding the responsibility of literally all things, and practicing medicine as a PA while I was raising kids, doing all of the house things, paying the bills. It was a lot. And it was in year 15 where we were just roommates, and we were going through the motions, but completely disconnected from each other. 24 hours from filing. And we ended up in a 3-day, very intensive counseling. We had 2 counselors in the room with us for 8 hours for 3 days. We learned a lot about what to do, but nothing about how to heal. Why we needed to heal our part. We knew nothing about that, learned nothing about that. So our marriage just became kind of status quo, good, but it wasn't awesome. We would still have hurt. We still had resentment. We still had fights over and over. We played the blame game because I felt he was responsible for my happiness. He felt I was responsible for his happiness. And we just were missing the mark. It didn't matter how many times I read 5 love languages. We were missing the mark. It didn't work. And our default is always trying to change what is outside of us. So trying to change each other. That is our default mechanism. And this really causes that never-ending struggle. And we just stay in that victim mentality, being powerless over the situation. But I want you to know that you are not powerless. I'm not powerless. Our spouses aren't powerless, but we become powerless because we're making someone else responsible for our happiness. You are powerful, and it's time really for you to take your power back. And that's really what I did 8 years ago when I went on my own journey of healing. The final straw for me was the final straw, really. And it was for me looking at my part in my marriage. And I want you guys to know I really didn't want to do it. I'm being really honest. I didn't want to do it. I felt extremely hurt. And truth be told, I had one foot in and one foot out of my marriage at that time because I was constantly thinking about what life would look like without him. And I don't know if any of you guys are there, but I'm here to tell you that's where I was. And my breaking point was I had worked through a lot of relationships in my healing, a lot of relationships. I had worked through my wounds with my mother, my wounds with my father. I'd worked through a lot of that. But my breaking point was really recognizing, because I knew that every relationship is here to teach us where we are not free. And life will continue to bring people, circumstances into your life to show you the areas where you're not free. I knew that. And I knew that I was still getting triggered in my marriage. So that meant I was not healed in this relationship. And if I wasn't healed in this relationship, what that meant is if I ever chose to leave the relationship, that I would take the same issues with me to the next. I knew that. And I'm just admitting that it's true. And the reason why I started that journey is because I was telling myself, regardless of what happens in this marriage, I'm not all in. I'm one foot in, one foot out. But regardless of what happens in this marriage, I need to heal myself, because if I ever get in another relationship, I don't want these to play out in that relationship, because ideally I will attract the same person. I will attract the same person. And that's why I began to do the work, and it changed everything. It's when I started that journey, I started the journey and I still wasn't all in. Then I put both feet into my marriage, and it changed everything. And after this experience in my life, this is when I knew that my mission was to help women go through the same thing, to help you guys go through the same. But I knew that, modules and trainings weren't enough, because I've actually done those. I've created those. And just doing a module and just doing a training without having a community and my guidance through the process, it doesn't work. And so that's why I created the Limitless Lounge. And so the Limitless Lounge is a new program that we are just launching. And it's actually a Facebook community of like-minded women who are ready for a journey of self-discovery in your marriage or whatever that is. I truly believe in shoulder-to-shoulder leadership when it comes to women. And when one heals, we all heal, because it's hearing the stories of other women in the group. Their breakthroughs change something deep within us. Just like you experienced with Crystal. Probably a lot of you were like, yes, I can feel that. I don't feel safe in my body. And just hearing what she went through, it changed something inside you. So inside the Limitless Lounge that I'm so excited about is the Free Your Mind course. So to rewire subconscious patterns, Queen's Criteria. This will redefine what you truly want in your partnership. Their abundance codes. Shift your thoughts from lack and limitation to your innate worth. We share our real raw story. My husband does as well. But here's the difference with this is there's ongoing support from me in this community. We have hot seat coaching once or twice a month. There will be hot seat coaching with whatever it is that you want coaching from me through. And then we do a monthly live breathwork session to help move the energy out of your body. And then, of course, anytime you have questions about anything that you're going through, we're going to be there to answer those for you. All of this is for $27 a month, and you can cancel that at any time. But you could also do a monthly membership, a yearly membership if you would like to. It's cheaper. It's $297 for the year, and that's 11 months plus 1 month free. And so tonight is the first of this program. And so that is what we have been doing for the last 3 weeks, is getting this ready. And I wanted to create this program because I wanted to make this accessible to everyone going through this. I didn't want anyone that couldn't afford something bigger not to have access to the change that I've experienced and the change that Many, many, many of my clients have, and thousands of women just doing this work. I wanted it to be accessible to everyone. If this is something that intrigues you, I would love to have you in this group. I would love to support you through your processes. Maybe you are one that is thinking, you know what, I'm not really comfortable sharing my stuff, and that's okay. That's okay. You can sit in the background and just pay attention to everyone else's stories, do the modules, and at some point you will feel comfortable. You'll feel a little more comfortable to share, because you'll start to see that the vulnerability of the group is just absolutely incredible. That's what we do on my teams. We do create this community of people who love and accept each other. And it's one of the most amazing things. One of my programs is called Becoming Limitless, with a group of women that we've been together for quite some time. And it is, they just feel like sisters. They would call each other if they ever need anything, and they know that each other would have their back 100%. And that's what we do. This isn't just a course, it's actually a commitment to yourself. And I would love, again, to support you in this. So I'm going to leave you with just a couple of thoughts. Just a couple of thoughts. I want to leave you with a thought of remembrance that you truly are limitless. You truly are boundless. And the only limitations that you have are the limitations that you have chosen to believe. And those beliefs can be changed. You can live a life free of the constraints that are holding you back. And those constraints are just the stories that are playing in your mind. We are actually holding ourselves prisoner because of, number one, a story. And if you think about a story, I am not important, whatever that is, when you even say the words, I am not important, it's a sound, it's words. And we are holding ourselves hostage, going through a life of suffering because of words and sound. Words and sound that really are not your truth, really are not your truth. So it's time to take your power back, my friend. And I'm here to support you. Share it with the women that you love if you enjoyed this information. And I hope to see you in Limitless Lounge. God bless everyone.